go. All right, welcome everyone to our Mandala workshop with Debra from Odyssey magazine. So we've just been taking a few minutes to check in with everyone, how everyone is doing. They were giving themselves a rating out of 10 and letting us know where everyone is from. Tabeleng is in Cape Town. She's giving herself a 6.5 out of 10. And shame your body is a little off at the moment. So always good to see that. Anya, she's still at work. Anya's got 12-hour shift work, 7 to 7, crazy. But she is sitting in Tygerberg Virology sampling reception, 7 out of 10 today. So that's great, Anya, good job. Cool beans. All right, so while everyone else comes in, you're welcome to pop in where you're phoning in from and what the story is, but I'll just start sharing what we're here to do and what we are going to be working with. So we have got Debra here today, so the two of us, we're going to just co-host a Mandala workshop. She's kindly agreed to share all her expert wisdom in this. And when I give Debra the floor to speak, you'll find out that she has just got the most beautiful, eloquent, and clear way of speaking. Like what she says just makes complete sense and is easy to understand. She is beautifully grounded and has that lovely presence, whereas I'm got a lot of passion, a lot of excitement in me. So the energy is always very sporadic when I'm around. So for those of you who don't know me yet, I am Nina. I have a yoga studio in Takai where I've got lovely teachers teaching for me at the moment because I am living in Mozambique. I did start Yoga Awakening Africa, yoga magazine in 2008, and that's transitioned from a magazine to a blog and to the work that I'm doing now. I'm also one of the teachers at the Academy of Yoga and Ayurveda, where we train yoga teachers. I often host yoga retreats. We just had a lovely one. Lana was there in Cape Town at the beginning of this month. Then I also do podcasts with a friend of mine called Nourish and Restore, where we share little tidbits every week. On a Wednesday, those come out. Most of you know that I love traveling. I'm a farm girl, animal lover, and at the moment, all of this has got to do with the yoga health coaching program that I'm busy with. And the idea of the program is to just bring a sense of order and rhythm to the chaos that we find in our life. So lucky to have us assist with that today is Debra. Now, Debra, I love this. I'll give you a bit of insight on her as well. But what I find is, sometimes when we are so in alignment with where we're going and what we're doing, the right people just kind of slip into our lives. And for Craig and me, for those of you who know me, Craig's my partner, our big dream is going yachting, in about a year's time. So been chatting to people about it, Anna and Anne. And what I found out about Debra when we were having our chat is that she's an ex-yachty. She was yachting for 4 years with her husband and her partner and family, her kids. So it's so funny how, all of a sudden now that yachting's become a big thing in my life, a lot of people who I meet and chat to have had an experience or an experience around that. And what you'll probably find now that we're chatting about mandalas, you'll probably start seeing them all around where, wherever you go, or you'll just draw that awareness to you. So Debra is a savvy and insightful corporate jungle escapee. So she has been in the corporate world for many years. Then and in the ad agency copywriting, and she escaped onto her yacht for a couple of years, had a bit of realignment of the brain, and then got more into work that was, I would say, maybe connected more to your soul and more hearted in that sense. So you'll find out, you'll see, she's beautiful with her words. She's a wordsmith, she's an author, she's a publisher, magazine editor, and she really is passionate about upliftment and the promotion through the written and spoken word. So you'll also know that Debra is actually a natural healer. She was a teacher and the principal of the Academy of Energency, which is actually still going. And with the work, now this is us having a power outage. So excuse the darkness. So I'll come a little bit closer. So she blends together over 30 years of wellness, both in the corporate and the personal context. So that is Debra. And like I say, we met because, as you can see, I did an article in Odyssey magazine on the work that I'm doing. So if you want to, make sure you go grab the latest edition of Odyssey. It is out now. So a few more announcements. There is possibly a Zanzibar retreat happening in early June. I've got 5 people that can come along on that. So if you are interested, you can always pop me an email and I can send you more info. I do Facebook Live every Saturday morning at 8:30. And our next free talk is going to be with Andrea White, and it's going to be on cyclical living on the 7th of May. That's a Saturday. So those are all the announcements. What Debra is going to guide us through in a moment is kind of just giving us a little bit of a background on what mandalas are, how we use them, really how to keep it so nice and simple, uncomplicated. And we're going to enjoy some time going into a meditation. And then we'll obviously leave some space for question and answers. Cool. Right, so I can stop our fantastic share. And I can see that we've got loads more people joined now. Fantastic. And I'm going to hand over the floor to Debra. And I'm going to quickly nip off and go grab a candle so that there's a bit more light when I get to speak again. All right, guys. Thanks, Debra.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm absolutely delighted to be here and so nice to connect with all of you. You know, being a magazine editor and in an industry now which is fairly roughshod in comparison to the natural healing environment, the printing sector, the distribution and the logistics sector, I've really missed my students. I've missed having sessions. I've missed teaching. I've missed doing meditation. So I'm so blessed and grateful to be here with all of you. Welcome. As you come into the room, just jot down where you're coming in from and let us know how your day is going out of 10. So is it a 6 out of 10, a 7 out of 10? Hopefully no one's under a 5 out of 10. But if you are, let's see if we can pick you up with our chat about mandalas today. So essentially, if we look at a mandala, when we think of mandalas, we think of these beautifully painted diagrams that we see on the internet. We see these beautiful sacred geometric patterns, and they draw us and they call to us. But at the end of the day, what a mandala is it is a simple center that we focus on in a meditative state that becomes a circle, and that circle takes on all of the shapes that have some relevance, a reflection of something deep within us. And typically, if we're drawn to a mandala pattern, either in a coloring book or online, or that we see in an esoteric gift shop, very often that mandala that we are drawn to is a mandala that has appealed to us because it helps us to find out a little bit more about who we are. Who are we really? And the nice thing about a mandala is when we focus on the circle and go within, because that is the purpose of a mandala, it is like a mirror. It accepts all that it sees, and it teaches us when we go into that center space deep within ourselves to stop pretending we are what we are, what we're not, and to experience ourselves exactly as we are. So the mandala is a powerful but very, very simple tool. It's a Sanskrit term, and it really is a circle that is used for meditation. And when we draw a mandala or we work with a mandala, we always start from the center. So the center point is the pivotal point of the mandala. The circle is symbolic of the continuum of life. No beginning, no end. As is life in terms of as souls, we have a continuum in which we circulate from lives to the life between lives to spirit, and for many of us back again, if there are things we have left unfinished or need to learn. So if we look at a mandala pattern or mandala shape, they are found absolutely, hello again, Nina. They are found absolutely everywhere in nature. Typically, they are present in so many things. The seeds of a sunflower head are in the shape of the golden ratio, which is 1.618, which is really one of the building blocks of all things in the universe. If we look at an artichoke, it is in the same shape, the golden ratio. If we look at some of the spiral galaxies that exist in outer space, they are very much the shape of the golden ratio or the golden mean, which often takes the form of the mandalas. But that is not the only shape or form a mandala can take. You could actually draw something that had concentric circles and did not represent the golden ratio or a particular flower of life or a particular geometric or sacred geometric drawing. You could simply draw something that resonated with you. And the whole intention is that it should have a center point. And that center point takes us within. So if you look at, for example, in the Hindu text, I'm a Chopra-trained meditation instructor, and obviously we work a lot in that context with the Vedas and the Bhagavad Gita and all of those teachings. And if we look at those teachings from the Hindu perspective, their mandalas were called yantras. And the yantras were actually a mandala that was specific to any particular deity. So Ganesha, who is the remover of obstacles and the god of new beginnings, there would be a Ganesha yantra. If we look at Lakshmi, who is the divine mother figure in the Hindu religion, there would be a yantra dedicated to Lakshmi. So you can make it as complicated or as simple or as meaningful as you need it to be for you. And for each of us, that's very, very different. And one of the ways I find that it's really beneficial to connect with the concept of working with a mandala for meditation is so often if we're on a walk or we are on the beach or we're on a vacation or a weekend away with family, even friends, is to go on a little reconnaissance and gather things from nature. So find that thing that will be the center of your mandala and place it on the sea sand and start building a mandala from that perspective. So you find your center point. It could be a spiral shell. It could be a stone. It could be a beautiful flower from the Admiralty on the beach. And you start building concentric circles. And that could be leaves, it could be stones, it could be shells, and you create a pattern. And that pattern that you are creating is a pattern that is resonating deep within yourself. As you do that pattern, as you repeat that pattern, as you create, so you are connecting into something that you were intended to connect to. So often we try to apply meaning to things that are very simple. And the simplicity of a mandala is if you were drawing it, if you were painting it, or if you're building it from items on a beach, you would be building something that you needed, which was a reflection of something very deep within yourself. So when we meditate on a mandala, whether it's a bought one, an internet one we've put on the beach, whether it is something we found in a book, something we printed off the internet, we start from the center point. And so we focus our energy on the center point, and that focus is going deep within who we are. So it's going to that space where we eventually go into the gap, or some people call it silence, where we can call on soul seed memory to replace some of the memory that we have. Because remember, our desires are often based on past experiences. And sometimes we have the same reactions for the same experiences. When we use a mandala for meditation and we go to that very center point, that very deep space within, that is when that mirror starts to reflect exactly what we need it to reflect. And when it brings to us some soul seed memory. So it is a form of meditation which is very simple. You don't need to hold your hand in any particular format. You don't have to sit in any particular way. You don't have to spend 10 minutes going into the silence and doing lots of breath work. You can actually take a mandala, flow with the rhythm of the breath, and start to go to the very center, to the very deepest space within you, where you will access the silence, and in that silence, that gap, that space of, that non-local space of nothing, the cosmic soup, I like to call it. Once we get into that space, we can then bring back soul seed memory to make our lives so much easier, more pleasant, and to overcome some of the patterns that we have developed over a period of time. So what I'd like to tell you about, and I just want to go back to making a mantra with nature. So to give you a system, you go to the beach, you go to the forest, you go on a walk, and you find all of the things you need, and you start with your center point. That is your focus, your attention. You build around it with various leaves, stones, shells, whatever, until you have a circle, and you will know in your heart when that circle is at its full circle space. And so what I'd like to do is we're going to do a meditation where we have an imaginary mandala, but it's a mandala that we develop for ourselves. So it's going to require a bit of imagination, but at the end of the day, all you need to focus on is your center point. All you need to focus on is the dot in this particular mandala. So if there's anything you'd like to ask me before we start that on the chat box, you're most welcome to do it now. Otherwise, if you're happy to start, we can close our eyes and go gently into the meditation. I'm just watching the chat box to see if we're all good.
I've got a quick question, Debra.
Yes.
While we're here, can you just speak a little to soul seed memory, what you're meaning by that, and what that's bringing through?
Okay, so in essence, when we come into this earth, we come in with soul seed memory, memory from source, memory that is representative of the essence of who we are. And it's those things we bring from source, soul, spirit, whatever your frame of reference is for that. So I just want to close this box on my screen. And what happens is, as life happens, we have memories of memories. And so we start to respond to life based on the way we remember events that have happened in our lives. So we have karmas, which really are the events that have happened in our lives, and we have the memories of those karmas, and we have the desire as to how we want to live our lives. And when we go into that space, we start repeating patterns, because all of the memory, the soul seed memory, that essence, that God spark we brought with us, has become the download, the software download has become so full of events that have happened in our lives. And what happens is we start responding to the same things in the same ways. And we don't have a new frame of reference. So when we go into deep meditation and we slip into the gap or the silence or whatever we want to call it, that place of nothingness, that place of no thoughts, no matter if it's for a tiny, tiny moment, because in linear time, it might feel like a moment. In spirit time, it could be an eternity. And it is in that moment, in that silence, in that place of no thoughts, where the center point of the mandala takes us, that we allow ourselves to open up and take on a new software download of some new soul seed memory, of some new ways of responding to life, because that is coming from deep within us. Because everything we know or need to know, we have within. And so that is how we access it, is through focusing on the center point and literally getting a new software download so that we can respond differently to life, respond differently to challenges, lower our heart rates, lower our emotions, see things in a much more balanced perspective. And that is the benefit of the software download we get when we go into the space of no thoughts. We are once again these open lotus blossoms which just can absorb. And so if that answers your question. Okay, good. Anybody else? If you put your hand up, I'll unmute you for a mo. All good? No hands? All right. So if you're all good, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to do an exercise for me. And I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And when I ask you to do the exercise, if I ask you to pick something up, I want you to physically pick it up and do whatever I ask you to do. So I can see, your cameras are on, I can see what you are doing to just ensure that we're all on the same level. And then we will go into the meditation from that. So if everyone's happy to work with me on that, let's do that now. Close your eyes and just sit back. Get comfy. You don't have to have a particular, your hands in a particular position. I always like palms up to receive, but just be comfy, cozy. Close your eyes because it's easier to go within when our eyes are not focusing without. Right, and I have a Tibetan bell here. When we finish the meditation, I will ring the bell and you can open your eyes. So that is when we are concluding the meditation time. So close your eyes, take a few deep breaths. And what we're going to do now is something quite simple before we go into the deep meditation. I want you to visualize in front of you a whiteboard. The whiteboards you typically write on at a conference or in a boardroom. So visualize in front of you an open and clean whiteboard. And what I would like you to do, next to you, you will find a whiteboard marker, and you'll find a couple actually. You may choose whichever one is next to you in the color of your choice. And I want you to lift up your whiteboard marker and place a dot in the center of your whiteboard. Pick up your marker, place a dot in the center of your whiteboard. Right, I would like you to take that same marker now and draw the biggest circle you can around that dot within the space of your whiteboard. The biggest circle you can. All right, the circles are looking great. And what I want you to do now is on the other side to where your markers were, there's one of those felt erasers. I want you to pick it up. I want you to first erase the circle and then to erase the dot. Okay, erase the circle now with your eraser. And now erase the dot. Right, lovely clean whiteboards again. And just for the moment, let's open your eyes again. Right, hello everyone, you're back. When we do meditation, people often say to me, but Debra, you haven't given us a mandala. We don't know how to visualize. I don't know how to visualize. You all have there was no pen next to you. There's no whiteboard in front of you, and there's no whiteboard eraser on the other side of you. So you've all just managed to pick up something that wasn't there, draw a circle on a whiteboard as well as a dot that wasn't there, and erase it. So I would safely say that we can all visualize. So on that note, please close your eyes and we're going to take some deep breaths. You can breathe along with me, closing your eyes. And we are going to breathe in for the count of 3 through the nose and out for the count of 4 through the mouth. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, breathing in, 2, 3, and out through the mouth. 2, 3, 4. In through the nose, 2, 3, out through the mouth, 2, 3, 4, and in through the nose, and continue with that. And you will feel that as you breathe out, your breath is getting warmer and warmer on your lips, and that's your chi starting to circulate through your body. So on your own now, breathing in through the nose on the count of 3 and out through the mouth on the count of 4. Continuing to flow with that rhythm of the breath. Flowing with the rhythm of the breath. In for 3, out for 4, flowing with the rhythm of the breath. I now want you to visualize a dot, visualize the dot, and visualize a large circle around the dot. I want you now to continue breathing without necessarily counting, slowly and deeply. Breathing slowly and deeply. And I want you to now gaze upon your dot. Gaze upon your dot so that the entire circle gradually becomes out of focus. Just focusing on your dot. For about 5 minutes, we are going to focus on the center of your dot. You can now let it be just a dot, or you can have a pine cone, a sunflower, a geometric shape, anything that forms in your mind that you would like to focus on at the very center of your mandala, that space where you go within. That space of no beginning, no end. Focusing on the center of your mandala, breathing slowly and deeply. Series of shapes, patterns, or colors may begin to emerge. Just allow them to gently take you into a space of balance, flowing gently with the rhythm of breath. A space where the ego self becomes less active. Continuing to flow gently with the rhythm of the breath, focusing on the center and allowing any form, pattern, shape, color to emerge and to fill the circle. Going into the gap, that space of no ego. Allowing. Just be with yourself. Gently stay with the mandala. Focus on the dot. You find yourself losing focus. Just refocus your attention on the dot. Flow gently with the rhythm of your breath. Just keep flowing with the rhythm on the breath. Focusing on the center point. Going deep within the space of no ego, no thoughts. When you are ready, come back into a space. Hands up to let me know that you're all back. Tabeling, I'm going to unmute you right now so you can tell me what you need to say. Give me 1 sec. Right, Tabeling?
Yes, I'm just going to change my video so that the network is good. I don't want to have you cut. I don't want to be cut when I speak. Is it okay? Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so this was interesting.
Tell me.
So when you directed us to look within the dot and have any symbol we like or shape, you know, what came up for me was the Metatron cube.
Sorry, what was that?
What came up for me was the Metatron cube.
Oh, the cube, Metatron's cube. Okay, great.
Yes.
That is a very powerful sacred geometric symbol.
Yes. So if you saw me move in such an awkwardness, I could feel that my body wasn't here. That was that, because basically I was immersing the energy source of that particular cube. And in that, as we were transitioning and we were breathing in, Metatron came through. As I do work with angels a lot, so that's not a surprise, especially them, because they are my birth. He is my birth angel, archangel, being that I'm a Virgo. So he came through,
Okay.
and he was basically saying it's time for myself to balance the mathematical of being a being on this earth and taking in the perspective of being an incarnation on the earth without taking away the fact that I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and finding balance in the two, because sometimes we tend to be either too in our heads or in the spirit realm and forgetting that we are humans and supposed to be here for an experience and actually make memories on this earth and enjoy everything around us. And in that, how his female counterpart towards the end came through for a short while to say, because her name is Archangel Sophia, she came through as well. She's like, in as much as he's more masculine and more about the mathematical being and the geometric settings of life, you should also remember you are kind, you are light, and you bring healing to the world. So don't forget that aspect of yourself and the feminine energy within yourself. And then you ring the bell. So they kind of drifted backwards, and then I was back into the room. So that was my experience.
Spoiled all your fun, did I?
Yeah, but it's okay.
Okay. And Tabeling, I'm going to catch you there because time is always short with these things, but I really do appreciate you sharing. And it's wonderful to hear that one of those very powerful geometric forms came up for you. So thank you so much for sharing. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And yes, you know, a point that Ntabeling made was that we are actually human beings, not human doings. And sometimes we need to be as opposed to be doing. So we've got a little bit of extra time. And if you would like, one of these circles that exists within our energy bodies are our chakras. And we can actually use our Mandala meditation not only to focus on an aspect of our being that we would like to focus on, but we can use our chakra, our circle, and go to its center point to also balance and heal aspects of our lives that we would like to. So if anyone's keen on doing, we can do about 2 or 3 chakras now. Nina, how do you feel about that? Anybody not happy to do another meditation, or shall we do a bit of chakra work? Hands up if you want to do it.
Yeah, I think that sounds fantastic. So I'm all in.
Okay.
I think all the yogis here are probably all in as well. They're like, hey, anytime we can get extra meditation, we're all for it. So okay. I would say that.
Okay, so thanks, Nina. Thank you, everyone. What we're going to do is we're going to use our own chakras as the circle. And what we're going to do is we are going to start at the center of our chakra. So we're going to visualize the chakra the same as we visualized in our mind's eye and on the board. And we're going to start at the center of our chakra, and we're going to come in a circular format out of the chakra, but not in a clockwise direction, because we're already in the center of the chakra, in an anti-clockwise direction. It gets confusing. Don't worry, just come out from the center of the chakra out into the vortex. Remember, your chakra is a vortex shape. So we're going to start at the center, and we're going to come out into the vortex. We're going to start deep within the energy center in our body. I'm having the same problem here, Nina. I'm flapping about, so there we go. All right, so we're going to close our eyes. Our breath work is going to be a little bit different. We're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and release for 4. I'll count you through it for 4 breaths. If you will just continue for another 4 breaths. And then we're going to start with the base chakra, which is red. We're going to move on to the sacral chakra, which is orange. We then are going to go up to the solar plex chakra, which is yellow. We're going to move up to the heart center, which is green, to the throat chakra, which is a sky blue, to the third eye, which is an indigo color, and then to the crown, which could be white, violet, or gold, depending on how you visualize your crown energy. If we run out of time, we will simply stop on the chakra we're on. And so we can also spend a little bit of time closing the session down, and you can do the balance of your chakras at home. It's really easy to do so. On that note, please close your eyes. Relax, get comfy. Palms facing up. Please keep your eyes closed so that you can remain within. And now, with palms facing up, we're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and breathe out for 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, and releasing, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4. Last one together, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, holding, 2, 3, 4, and releasing, 2, 3, 4, on your own for 4 breaths. Breathing in. Okay, flowing with the rhythm of the breath, I want you to now visualize your base chakra. That is the chakra at the bottom of the pelvic area. It is red. It is a red circle, and I want you now to take your focus to the dot within that red circle that is your base chakra. Chakra of life force, the chakra of being alive, the chakra of safety, security, all the things we need to be comfortable in this incarnation on earth. Focus on the dot within that chakra. Letting the chakra go out of focus till everything goes a bit blurry. Then begin to come out through the chakra in circular form, feeling that spiral coming back to your present space, space of no thoughts. The chakra is like a mirror. It helps you to discover, to learn, or to accept something about your life force energy that you need to accept right now. The mirror, no ears, no graces, just as it is. And now coming back to the breath, going gently with the rhythm of the breath. We are now going to go to the sacral chakra. It is orange. It is based between the belly button and the pubic ridge. I want you now to visualize your sacral chakra. It is orange. It is that space of joy of life, that space of worthiness, that space of creativity. All of that exists within the sacral chakra. It is also the home of your inner child. We're now going to visualize that circle, that chakra, and see the dot deep within, focusing on the dot in the sacral chakra until it goes all fuzzy and out of focus. And allow yourself to circle back out into the present moment. Focusing now on the dot in the sacral chakra. Spiraling back now and focusing again gently on the rhythm of the breath. Coming back to the breath. We're going to go now to the solar plexus chakra. It is yellow. Solar plexus chakra is just below the breastbone, just at the top of the rib cage. And this is the place where we process emotion, the place where we really feel things, the place where worry sits. I want you now to see the dot deep within the solar plexus chakra, deep within this yellow circle that is your solar plexus, focusing on the dot deep within that energy center, allowing it to eventually go out of focus. When that happens, spiraling back to the breath. Focusing now on the dot. Spiraling out of the solar plexus chakra now, coming back to the gentle rhythm of the breath. We have time for one more. We are going to that beautiful space that is our heart center, our heart chakra. That chakra that enables us to love and be loved in return. So often we are able to give love, and yet we find it so hard to receive love. So in this beautiful green circle, I want you to find that dot that is so deep within. It opens us up to that beautiful divinity, that divine love. And focus now on that dot within the heart chakra. I'm not going to guide you back at the heart chakra. I'm going to leave you in the space for a few minutes. And when you hear the bell, please spiral back and come back to the breath, back into the room, focusing on that heart chakra now. Find that dot and go deep, deep within. All coming back to the room, coming gently back into the room, into this beautiful cyber room which we find ourselves in. How blessed are we that we can all be together without being present in this beautiful gift of technology. Just remember that your past actions are your karmas, and those karmas create memories which we call sankharas, and those sankharas become desires which we call vasanas. And these lead to new memory seeds, which we only find present at the level of soul, at the level deep within, at the essence of who we are. So if we want to fundamentally change how we do life, it's really important that we're able to go within and access those things I call soul seeds, but they really are new ways of living, which we already know, but have become a bit lost in the plane crash of life. So it's one way we can go back. Anybody has any questions? You can either put them in the chat box. My spelling's not great because I'm not a copy typist. I type with 2 fingers, or I'll just put your hand up and I'll open you up and unmute. If we're all good to carry on, let's just do a thumbs up so Nina can take over.
I'm sure we'll go back to some questions again shortly. We'll just let everyone kind of probably let them mull a little. But what I wanted to just say, Debra, as well, is like when you took us into the first meditation, it was such a beautiful sensation of pulsation, that of the circle kind of getting bigger and smaller, that kind of sense with that happening. And it just reminded me of kind of the pulsation of life, you know, night and day, winter, summer, hot, cold, and that everything in life is just a pulsation as well. And then I wasn't too sure if I was going to share this or not, but I'm going to do it now because I generally do. Most people who know me know that on the Saturday morning, I do like a cards and conversation. So I've got like a lovely mandala deck here of cards, and often I'll pull one and we'll have a little chat. And kind of before our session today, I do my little meditation and I pulled a card, and it's all on imagination, like what you were chatting about before about the whiteboard. So it's funny how like synchronicity just happens, and realizing, that we all can use our imagination to visualize and to create what it is we want, and that it is such a powerful tool. And if it is just visualizing that dot, or going deep into the spirals that we're doing with the chakras now, just a really good reminder, and also a reminder that the practice of working with a mandala can be so simple. It doesn't need to be complicated and difficult.
Yeah, I think, we must remember that when we construct a mandala, whether we're doing it on the beach with things we've picked up, whether we draw it and doodle it, for want of a better word, on a bit of paper, when we paint or draw one with the intention of making a piece of art, all of that is actually based on sometimes an intention from very deep within, something we haven't even consciously brought into our present, but by focusing on the center and the process of drawing it or constructing it in some way, or even purchasing it, when we focus on that center for the first time, we go within and it builds outwardly. So that is the pulsating, the patterns. But once we take a look at that center, which is our starting point, we already have the ability to go very deep within to that space where we enter the cosmic soup and bring back what we need to live better. And that really is the simplicity of a mandala and meditating with a mandala.
And I love the idea of how you're bringing it in with nature as well. So like while you're going for your walk or something, or another, and you pick up a pine cone and you just take a moment to observe it, and notice what it is that you're being drawn into and what is being shared with you at that moment. I think is really, really powerful, that nature, there are always signs, and that we can go deep no matter where it is we are, like you're saying, on the beach, in the forest, in our garden. Yeah.
I think what's important is when we do this type of meditation, sometimes what comes back is not what we anticipated. And we need to be able to look at ourselves without judgment, with absolute pure love, no judgment, because what comes back is what is. And to judge ourselves is not fair. Sometimes we will bring back soul seed memory to remedy something which is perhaps very sensitive or very deep or very distressing. And having a look at that for what it is without judgment can be quite hard. And we have to get into the practice of allowing when we do this type of meditation.
Giving the space for it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very, very powerful. Yeah.
It's not always pretty.
No, but insightful.
Yes, insightful, healing, developmental, liberating, but not always pretty.
Good.
Okay.
So then I think just to close, for those who do have the interest in creating or drawing their own mandala, what I'll do is, once we've got this recording together, I'll share the tip sheet that Debra put together for us on drawing your own mandala and how to go about it. My way of I didn't even realize I was doing it, and I was chatting with Debra before, is that I remember, especially being at school a few years ago, that whenever there was a lecture or something on, or even at varsity, like I would be drawing pictures, and it would be like a mandala. It would be a start, and then it would always be shapes and things going outward, and it's exactly that what Debra is saying. It's like drawing the focus in, and that's a way of expressing what is needing to be processed at that moment. So I know Debra's creative with her words. I'm definitely more creative with artwork, and we all have these different ways of operating. So if you are the more artsy one who likes to create and draw, then she has got some lovely tips there for you, which I'll happily share with you when I send the recording out tomorrow. Cool. And then what we'll do is if everyone enjoyed this, we'll hopefully Debra will maybe come back later in the year and we can maybe do another follow-up session with something similar to this. And if anyone is keen on doing a little bit of work with Debra with Odyssey magazine, right? You guys have a Wisdom Wednesday to make sure I don't get tongue-tied with that. And it's for kind of like sole entrepreneurs where you guys are helping them collaborate or kind of work between maybe financial difficulties and the spiritual world, that kind of work. Do you want to maybe elaborate a little bit on that for anyone while we've got a minute or two left before people need to dash off?
Sure. I think that people who are involved in any form of spiritual work, it's a very broad term, any esoteric work, there's always the dilemma about profit and purpose. So when we have this purpose to teach, to share, to heal, whatever that is, we always feel in some way that it is a God-given gift, and maybe charging for it is not really ideal. So what we do is we actually give away as solopreneurs a lot of our time and energy without reward necessarily. Now, sometimes that's great, but when you need the abundance to fund your life, which is the whole purpose of having a business, it has to have some benefits so that you can pay the bills and eat and send your kids to school and all that sort of thing. So we have Wednesday wisdom sessions with different guests, and we deal with things like marketing yourself, earning the kind of fees comfortably and expecting to earn them that you should be earning. And we work with leaders in the industry. I co-host with them. We often work with Colleen Joy. We have Jacques de Villiers doing this one, this session on this Wednesday. It's on the 6th because it's on the first Wednesday of each new month. So if anybody wants to join Wisdom Wednesday, you can go to the Odyssey website, which is really easy. It's www.odysseymagazine.co.za. Scroll to the bottom of the homepage and the enrollment form is there. It is free, but we do like you to register so we can save your space. If you'd like to join Jacques de Villiers on Wednesday between 12 and 1 or 12:30 and 1:30, it's a lunchtime session for all the worker bees. Please, we'd love to have you there. We really enjoy. He's an amazing, he's a ghostwriter. He's written great books, and he's been working with soulful sales and marketing for the last 20 years, and he gets us. And I think it'll be great if you want to develop your business and be more soulful and more successful as a solopreneur. All those tongue twisters, Nina. Please, go to the bottom of our page and join us. We'd love to have you.
Fantastic.
So yeah,
that I'm definitely going to try and my tennis has been cancelled for Wednesday, so I think I will definitely be able to make it this week, which is very exciting that it's one that I can make. So, and then for anyone who's keen to do some work with me and looking into stabilizing your healthy lifestyle, getting into your Ayurvedic habits, moving yourself from a state of chaos back into rhythm, into the pulsation of nature. If you want to just have a chat about where you are with your goals, if you're having health challenges, if you want to chat about that, to find out more about the work that I'm doing, then again, you pop me an email. You all know how to get hold of me. It's not that difficult. Facebook, email, websites, I'm everywhere, and we can connect. It really does make a difference when you're working in a community together with like-minded people like we are here today, taking time to prioritize our growth and our learning and our evolution. It really does allow us to go a lot further. So again, thank you to everyone for being here and for joining us today. Is there anyone who has still, we can probably stay on for another 5 or 10 minutes. Anyone who needs to go, please feel free to leave. I know we said we'd finish at 7, but if anyone does still have a pressing question, or if anyone does want to add a comment or an insight, let us know, and we'll give a 5 minutes or so for that. Or we won't. Or you are welcome to unchat, write it in the chat or unmute yourself. You are welcome, Victoria. Lovely to have you had joined, Win. Thanks, Gina. Much love to everyone. Thanks, Debra. All right, great, guys. It was fantastic having you here. Thank you so much for your support, your time, your energy, your vibrancy, and hopefully you got a little bit of insight, again, realizing that mandalas doesn't need to be complicated, that it can be nice and simple. And we'll be sure to share that tip sheet with you. And again, if you have any question, comments, or anything after our little chat today that you still want to let us know about, then you can always email us. I think we're both fairly good with I know Debra's very good with responding to emails. I am somewhat good, getting better. All right. Any last words from your side, Debra, before we head off?
Thank you. I'm so grateful to have spent this time with you, in touch and in love with all of you. Stay blessed, go well. And if you need to contact me on a personal note, anything you want to chat about, Debra at odysseymagazine.co.za, Debra like a zebra, and you're welcome to drop me a mail. And my phone number is available just on every WhatsApp platform, every Facebook platform. I'm not hard to find.
Great. All right. So we'd love to be in contact with you guys. Keep posted, and yeah, we'll catch you in the gap.
In the gap. See you there. Bye-bye.
Okay.